boys, bitch, you better bow down. Crowd just wanna hear the show, start the countdown. Don't be messing around, we ain't chasing no clout. Better shut your ass up before we put your ass down. Might get lumped up, taking verbal bumps, chump. We don't ever bite tongues, always keeping it a buck. Danger and Will, they gon' change the game. Bump Boys podcast, it'll melt your brain. Y'all don't wanna see the flame, so don't spark the match. We like rookie Kurt Angle, make your ankle snap. Three amigos like Eddie, but don't lie or steal. Only cheat when we gotta, but to win we will. Mike skills like Dusty, but go hard like Brock. I'm a stunner like Austin, dropping elbows like Mach. Y'all don't wanna see the finish, cause it's us on top. 1, 2, 3, get the V and get a warrior pop. Yo!
What's up, guys? It's Joe from the Bump Boys here, and today I am here with a solo dolo video for April 25th, 2022 for Monday Night Raw, the Monday Night Raw review. And this show didn't live up to the hype as the previous shows, but at the same time, it wasn't a bad show. So we open up the show, and we get this, like 20 years of Randy Orton. Randy Orton basically is gets a really nice video package. Great evolution. I love the video package. Riddle brings him out. Very homey vibe that you see inside the stadium. Next thing you know, we have interruptions from multiple superstars. Riddle brings out Cody Rhodes. Next comes out Seth Rollins. Then comes Ezekiel, KO, and then the Usos eventually come out. So that sets us up for an 8-man tag match later on for tonight. And I'll get into that a little bit later. So we have our main event all set up, ready to go, and we get the first match of the night, which is the Raw Women's Championship match. Sonya Deville versus Bianca Belair. And this match was decent. I think there was a couple commercial breaks that it was a little weird, but I'll get into that. So the first part of the match, Bianca ends up throwing Sonya over the announce table, gets counted out. Sonya makes the match, no countouts. Then Sonya gets disqualified using a steel chair. The match now is no disqualifications. After that, she gets Sonya, the tag team formerly of Queen Zelina and Carmella. They come out, and that was when the weird commercial break came. You could tell there was a commercial break coming, but it was just kind of weird because as soon as they walked up, it went straight to commercial. I thought it was just a little weird for me, that timing right there. Eventually it becomes a 3-on-1, and Bianca, looking strong, ends up coming back to retain her Raw Women's Championship against Sonya Deville. This match was pretty decent. I enjoyed a good portion of it. I will say Bianca did look strong in this one, and I love the finish. The little wink at the end gave a little bit of character that I really did enjoy. But I don't understand having Queen Zelina and Carmella work together. They just broke up. They just got into issues. I don't see why they're coming back together. So that was a little weird. Next we have a VR squash match. The usual. That's that. Then we have the Bobby Lashley Omas arm wrestling match. Bobby Lashley ends up winning the match, and Omas just beats him down with the table. Takes the arm wrestling table, beats him down with it, and then chucks it out, gouges the crap out of the the ringside ramp area. Just a huge gouge in there, and it was just a funny moment from there. After that, we had Reggie and Dana Brooke versus Tamina and Tazawa. This match was decent. I wasn't really involved in this one, to be honest. But it is what it is. Tazawa and Tamina end up winning this match. And then we get the 24/7 pin attempts, but nothing really happened. So it was decent. I think this match could have been like a pre-show for WrestleMania Backlash, but even then, I digress. It did its thing. So I think that's about it. Becky Lynch comes out first time since the Raw, since WrestleMania after losing her title, and you can see she's kind of crazy. She's kind of manic. She talks about her comeback and her comeback. Nothing's better than a Becky Lynch comeback, which is true. She does really well when she's chasing the title. But the question is, does big time Bex really have it to do a comeback story? Uh, I don't know. I think I'd be invested. I'm a big Becky Lynch fan, so I do enjoy her content. Um, then we get a return, the return of Asuka, and straight up, Asuka's looking good. She's looking healthy. She seems like she's very invested. Um, she's just seemed very loose in the ring, and I'm excited if we're getting a Becky Asuka match. I've seen these matches so many times, but you know, they're elevating. Becky elevated herself. Asuka's always, I feel like it's gonna be up there regardless. She can be a contender at any time, and this was a great segment. I enjoyed it. A couple people were like, I wasn't a fan of Asuka returning, yada yada, but Asuka was very over, and if this is what it's leading to, it's not a bad idea. Next, we have Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. This match I was not a big fan of. You know, I feel like we're getting Punisher Martinez vibes, and it's not what I'm used to right now. Um, it's all right. Damian Priest um has a new finisher. He has a choke slam, and that was the way to get the win. So it was an interesting, different thing that he ended up getting. So from there, I don't know. I don't know. The segment wasn't it for me. Edge and Damian. I feel like they need another person in there to kind of soften these blows they're having, or someone to distract someone for Damian. But you know, Edge and him are good duo. I just want to see them working together more and like inside the ring. Maybe they have a tag team squash match or something like that. I have no idea, but I'm just getting tired of all the backstage segments that we're getting from them. So we had Mustafa Ali versus The Miz. Ali comes back, challenges for the U.S. title. From there, we got Mustafa Ali um, basically getting into a match with The Miz because Austin Theory, texting Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon said, "Way to go," or send it, let it happen. Um, my issue is Miz is always going to be a player. He's always going to be a main event star. The problem is I feel like they're booking him goofy, and I know everyone hates on The Miz, and that's what he does. That's his job, and he does it well. I would like to see The Miz being taken a little bit more seriously, but that's just on a personal level. But Mustafa Ali ends up getting a nice, really clean roll-up pin on him. A little different variation than what we're used to. He always has some really nice roll-up pins and stuff like that. So it was a really nice change of pace for roll-ups. Finally, we get our main event, the 8-man tag. And honestly, I was not too invested in this match. Um, Towards the end, in the beginning, I was. At one point, I felt like there was a lot of dirt naps happening on the outside. You know, I I I know people are saying Cody Rhodes looks good in the ring, and he has this, he's looking good, he's looking clean, but I'm noticing small things like 8-man tag. He's like watching the ring, like watching everything that's happening when it's going on, and it's just like at one point he was really just watching the match, and I was like, "You're not selling, you're not doing anything, you're just at the apron. I see your head, and you're watching it, and you're just like looking over." It just seemed a little gritty, and it wasn't really polished. It wasn't the Cody we would see in AEW. So I don't know. Haven't been a big fan of this Cody Rhodes and WWE. I know other people say otherwise. But the end comes with a bunch of RKO's from the Randy, Riddle gets one in as well, and the crowd goes home happy with RK Bro and um, Cody Rhodes and Ezekiel winning that 8-man tag match. So overall, this was a pretty loaded Raw. A lot of stuff in there. Um, even had a Rhea versus Liv backstage segment. Overall, it was a lot of content, a lot of stuff happening. Good amount of returns, and the returns turned into matches. So if you want to see any of them, um, who just returned have a match, it looks like we're getting Asuka in the future, and then we end up getting Ali as well. So I think overall we're getting some decent movement moving along. Was this Raw as good as the other ones? No, I don't think it was. Now I give it a 7.8 if I had to give it a score. Um, but it did move along a couple things. It made me realize that WrestleMania Backlash is, I think, this week. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this weekend. So that is something I did not expect to be coming up so quick. And if it is this weekend, who's Roman facing? There's a lot of things, a lot of questions that I have on my mind. So that was my quick review for the Monday Night Raw for April 25th, 2022. Again, this is Joe from the Bump Boys. Peace.
Must bid you adieu, a goodbye, mwah, and good night. Oh my God, it's so great. Bang!